is Chef Elham, and if you like to cook like I do, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. Today I'm going to show you a fantastically delicious vegetarian dish. It's a spicy vodka sauce with eggplants and polenta and then layered with cheese. It is so yummy. It does take a little bit of time, but it's not complicated. It just takes a little bit of time because there's different steps to it. So let me show you the ingredients. For the vodka sauce, we have some olive oil, some garlic that I'm going to chop roughly. We're going to add some chopped tomatoes. When tomatoes are in season, definitely go ahead and use fresh tomatoes, but when they're not in season, this is a great product. And then here is the vodka. We're going to spice it up with some cayenne and then finish it with some creme fraiche and fresh parsley. This is smoked mozzarella, which is going to be one of the layers. And this is eggplant that I'm going to slice and grill on the stovetop grill pan. And then we have some basil here for garnish. So I cooked some polenta already, and what I want to do is put it in a dish because I wanted to set up, I'm choosing a square dish because I wanted to set up in a square pan, so then I will cut it either into squares or rounds. We'll see which mood strikes me. Am I going to be square or am I going to be round? I don't know. We'll see. But before I put it in the dish, what I'm going to do is get some saran wrap and cover the bottom. And I purposely want some hanging over, so I cut it larger than the actual pan. And I'm just going to make sure it's touching the bottom, and I have these extras that are hanging. So this way, when I add my polenta, and when it sets, I can easily just lift it off the pan. You'll see, I'll show you in a little bit. Just gonna give it half hour to set. So let's get cooking. We'll start with the sauce. I have a medium-sized pan here. I'm heating it up, and then I'm going to add some olive oil. You don't want to get the pan too hot in this case because we're going to cook the garlic, and garlic burns so easily that we want to make sure that we don't burn it. So this is probably hot enough. I'm adding some olive oil. Let the oil heat up. And I'm going to add the garlic. I know that I always say I want to hear the sizzle, but in this case, again, because the garlic burns so fast, I don't want to hear a big sizzle when I put the garlic in. Okay, just let that cook for a few seconds. And as soon as you can smell the garlic, that means it's time to move on. Okay, I can smell the garlic, so now I'm going to add the chopped tomatoes. I'm going to give it a stir. And I'm just going to let this cook down for about 15 minutes. I often get asked, do I need to add the vodka? No, you really don't. If you don't drink alcohol, you don't need to add the vodka, although the alcohol just evaporates anyway. But when you do add it, it kind of helps bring a balance between the cream that we're going to add later and then the sweetness of the tomatoes. But it is optional. You can leave it out. I'm getting ready to finish the sauce. So all I need to add is some creme fraiche. If you've never used creme fraiche before, you must. It's a fabulous product, and it's something in between, in flavor and texture, it's something between sour cream and heavy cream. If a recipe asks for creme fraiche, and you don't have it or can't find it, I would substitute heavy cream, not sour cream. Alright, so I think this is about enough. Okay, the sauce has been cooking for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna finish it. First I'm gonna taste it to see if I need to adjust the seasoning. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna puree it first. You can put it in a blender, but I'm gonna use my immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, it's fine. It'll just be a chunky sauce. Okay, this is a good consistency. So now I'm just going to add some cream. About a quarter of a cup. This is probably a third of a cup. Just stir it in. This adds a nice velvety creaminess to the sauce. And then I'm going to add some parsley, and that's it. Turn off the heat, and we are done. Okay, I have my eggplant sliced. Like I said, I'm going to put them in a bowl and toss them with some olive oil. Oops, not the cap. All covered with oil. If you want, you can also brush some olive oil on each piece separately. You do end up using less oil that way, but it obviously takes a little bit extra work, but totally up to you. Some vegetables you can grill without adding the oil beforehand, like zucchini is great for that. Eggplants, they need a little bit of oil before they go on the grill. You can always add more later, but they just need a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna add the salt. Toss again with my hands. When you're cooking a dish that has different layers, meaning different parts, season each layer separately. It's hard to, once everything's put together, it's hard to season it that way. So, okay, these are ready for my hot grill pan. Let's go over to the stove. Is that we're going to assemble the grilled eggplants and the polenta with the cheese. We're going to stack them, put them in the oven, let the cheese melt. So this, remember earlier I was telling you that I wanted to have some of this hanging over because it's easy to just lift it. I put that aside and I'm just going to flip it over and take off the saran wrap. Now I can cut it easily into 4 pieces. So like this, and like this, and I'm just gonna cut off the corners to make it perfect squares. If you do, I guess I am in a square mood today. If you do want to make it round, you can either just use a cup and shape it like that, or use a cookie cutter, whatever that works. Okay, and these are good snacks for later. So I'm gonna put the polenta squares on here. This way. I'm also going to put 4 pieces of eggplants together. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do 6, just in case I want to do an extra layer, or just in case one of them just, I don't know, something goes wrong. And this is the smoked mozzarella that I grated. Probably should have put some foil on here so it would be easier to clean up, but that's fine. I have my oven at 400. It's a little high. Should probably have it at 375, but I'm a little impatient. And everything's already cooked. We just want to have the cheese melt. Okay, last one. Okay, and it goes in the oven. Oh, this smoked mozzarella smells so good. I just got these out of the oven. The cheese is melted, so I have all the pieces that need to go together. This is some chiffonade basil for garnish. If you want to learn how to chiffonade, you can click on the link in the recipe. So I am going to start by just adding some sauce to the bottom. Oh, there's one piece that didn't get puree. It's okay, let's make that into a design. See? You always pretend like that's exactly how you wanted it. Look at that. Okay, and then 1 square of polenta. Can you guys see? 1 slice of eggplant. A little bit more sauce on top. Another slice of polenta, another slice of eggplant, and a little bit, you gotta be careful because it does sometimes just slide, like this is doing now, so I'm gonna move it over like that. A little bit of sauce on top. On top. How delicious does that look? Hold on, I need to move it. You can't see it. How delicious does that look? Well, I hope you give it a try and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.